rematch between Kaiju number 8 and Kaiju number 9 isn't over yet. In the previous episode, Kafka surprised Kaiju number 9 by showing a combination of his martial arts techniques. That's when he managed to expose number 9's core organs and almost defeated him. But as it turned out, Kaiju number 9 also returned to show his secret weapon. After absorbing Isao and his Kaiju weapon, Kaiju number 9 is also able to use the power of Kaiju number 2. The Kaiju's head is taken out along with his arm. And finally, now Kafka will face 2 numbered Daikaiju at once. In the last chapter, Kafka was so down that his core organs were fractured. But fortunately, help has come in the form of Mina. So even though she was attacked both physically and psychologically, Mina was still able to get up and was ready to fight. And in this latest chapter, we will also see how Kafka and Mina will fight against Kaiju number 9. Finally, at this moment, the 2 childhood friends were able to keep their promise. So here's chapter 109. The chapter begins with a flashback to when Kafka and Mina were children. At that time, Mina asked Kafka what kind of soldier he wanted to be, and Kafka gave an answer that sounded like a child's speech. Kafka said that he wanted to be a soldier who could have the highest combat power release record at 99%, be an expert in using swords and rifles, be able to kill 10,000 kaiju, and be the most recognized soldier for 10 years. Hearing Kafka's childish answer, Mina clearly mocked him. But Mina herself gave an equally funny answer. Mina said that she wanted to be a soldier who could save many lives, whether it was fellow soldiers, civilians, or pets. Mina promised not to let them die as long as she was on the battlefield. At first, Kafka was surprised and amazed by the ideals that Mina wanted. But he also thought that Mina's hopes were equally impossible, because it is almost impossible when there is a kaiju war going on, there are no casualties. Even so, Kafka still encouraged his childhood friend. He invited Mina to fight together to achieve her dreams, until finally now the dream was finally achieved. And even though it was clearly with a variety of different conditions. Back to the battle, after successfully shooting Kaiju number 9, Mina walked forward with Kafka. It was there that she showed her annoyance to Kafka. Mina called Kafka a liar. What she meant was how Kafka had wanted to give up on achieving his goals, and seemed not to want to keep the promise they both made. So it was only at this time that Mina expressed her frustration directly to Kafka. When she was arrested, Mina was afraid that Kafka would never show up beside her because he forgot about the promise, especially when the 2 of them chatted on the roof of the Defense Force headquarters and mentioned the promise. Kafka seemed unenthusiastic about answering it, because actually in Kafka at that time, he still doubted that Kaiju number 9 would be easily defeated. After seeing how terrible Kaiju number 9 was with his own eyes, Kafka seemed to want to fight against him alone. Seeing his nature, he clearly didn't want to endanger Mina by fighting with her. This is why Kafka doesn't seem to trust his childhood friend. And when Mina said that she knew that Kafka intended to fight alone, Kafka felt slapped, but he admits that Reno's arrival has awakened him. Kafka now knows that he has very strong comrades and can fight together without worrying. Hearing Reno's name, Mina seemed to be jealous because it wasn't her who made Kafka realize. After that, Kafka apologized to Mina, not only because he came late, but also because his current condition was different from what he aspired to. Kafka felt that he was not a great soldier like the one in his childhood dreams. Now he was just a man with kaiju powers. But Mina feels that she is the same. Mina says that she is also not the soldier she dreamed of as a child. Mina realizes that during her time as a soldier, she has let many of her comrades die on the battlefield. Even so, Mina said that both she and Kafka must be able to move forward and continue fighting. Finally, Kaiju number 9 got back up. By slapping his own face, Kafka tried to focus. And this is where Mina also gave a speech that seemed to be an encouragement for Kafka. Mina thanked Kafka for being by her side. Hearing this speech, Kafka was reminded of how many of his childhood dreams were unfulfilled. Even so, there was one dream and promise that was successfully achieved at this time, a fact that now he could fight together with Mina. After failing many times and giving up, Kafka, who had promised to catch up and be by Mina's side, was finally able to keep that promise. And when Kaiju number 9 awakens, Kafka and Mina prepare to fight. Even though it has been hit by Mina's shot, Kaiju number 9 will again show his strength, and that's chapter 109. we focus on the interaction and character development between Kafka and Mina. We are shown how these two childhood friends can finally express the feelings that are hidden between them. Mina admits that she once felt annoyed at Kafka for giving up and stopping pursuing her dreams. Meanwhile, Kafka also felt that he might not be fit to fight beside Mina. Kafka probably felt that as Kaiju number 8, conquering Kaiju number 9 was his job alone. This is why he also doesn't want to endanger his colleagues. Although in the end, Kafka was helped by those colleagues. Thanks to Reno, Kafka was able to come and help Mina on time. And thanks to Mina, Kafka can escape the clutches of Kaiju number 9. And with Mina here, Kafka will definitely be helped in his battle. Considering Kaiju number 9 also has a long-range attack in the form of its balloon shooter, the presence of Mina and her pistol will be an effective counter. Moreover, Mina only carries a pistol. The output of Mina's shots is still very powerful. Not only that, with Mina also present, Kafka can focus on releasing his martial combination attacks. Because right now, Kafka seems to be able to land his punches from close range. So with Mina's shots that can lower number 9's defense, Kafka could have landed a devastating attack on the Kaiju. Even so, we also need to remember that Kaiju number 9 can use the superpowers of Kaiju number 2. This means that there is a possibility that he can also use a burst of electromagnetic energy as shown by Isao. This attack is said to have been used by Kaiju number 2 to destroy Sapporo, so you can imagine how it would be if Kaiju number 9 used it here. From that fact, Kafka might be forced to evolve, as he once showed when his Kaiju power got out of control. Kafka could have changed his body shape and brought out his other secret weapons. In addition to Kafka and Mina, there is also the possibility that other soldiers will come to the battle. Narumi had told his deputy that he planned to kill Kaiju number 9. Hoshina was also shown running as soon as he heard that Mina was arrested. So it's likely that he will also come to his captain. So if these two elite soldiers can actually come, the chances of victory might be even more open. But for now, we will obviously be treated to the duet of Mina and Kafka first. And that's the discussion of the latest chapter of Kaiju number 8. Like and subscribe. iits'Nime. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.